good to go in there, surprise the hell out of my team. They had no idea it was coming. My wife didn't know. No one knew. It was a good secret I had. But talk about emotional, yeah, but I feel good. It's like the biggest sigh of relief I've ever had in my life. Like, we're done. Now it's off to the next chapter, you know. And I'll be back. I'll come, you know, hang out, watch fights, talk to the young generation, tell them all the things they should have, would have, could have, should have done, and peeking in, I don't know, maybe I'll get the itch in 2 years, who knows, but anytime soon, they hope to, you know, going off and make some movies. Got race cars. I got a race next weekend. We'll get a race car and we'll play. And go to the lake house with my wife. I just bought my wife the lake house. I don't think it's anything nice with the single wide trailer people, so don't, we got money like that, so it's nice to us, so we're going to be spending a lot of time at the lake and hanging out with families.
Obviously retiring is a bittersweet moment, you know, but if you could pick a moment, you had your kids there, that was a big part of this, you got to walk out, you got to do it in front of a crowd. Is this as good as it could have gone, a retirement fight for you?
I mean, a win would have definitely made it better, right? But it couldn't have been any better, right? This was it. I felt it walking out, coming out of the tunnel, the place going crazy. It felt good.
You've had such an incredible career, right? It's probably one of the most unique careers we've had in this sport. If you could pick one moment that you can sort of look back on and go, I'll hang my hat on that moment, that was the best bit.
Just sit right here tonight. Everyone got really emotional, but I didn't. I felt, like I said, I felt so good. This is the moment I had both my boys in there. Bruce and Joe sent me off, and I'll hang my hat on that all day long, man. One hell of a career, and why not the guy tied for the most wins, take the wins and keep going? Hell yeah, good job, Jim. Fucking run with it, baby. I'm gonna step down and it's all good. So if I had a moment that I look back on, this is it. I dreamt of this moment for a long time and finally saying, you know, finally okay in my heart saying it's time to walk away, you know, and this is it.
Congratulations, man. It has been an honor.
Cowboy over here. Congratulations on a great career. What did that mean to you to hear the crowd just erupt? Like, you retire, it was a standing ovation in the T-Mobile Arena. It was just such a cool moment just to watch back here. What was that like being in the octagon as that was going on?
Like I said, the highest highs and lowest lows. I must have done something right along my career somewhere to get the crowd to love me as they do. So thank you so much to everyone who's been there and supported me. Even to those who haven't supported me, they keep me hungry too. You know, the guys that are sitting at home making messages on your things, they help motivate me also. So thank you to you as well. My Instagram's open, so go ahead and talk all the shit you want. I'm gone now, so I don't even care.
And then for just fighting a guy like Jim Miller, you've already shared the cage with him. You guys had a great first round, it was back and forth. And just to see him sort of step aside and let you have your moment before he could have his, what did that mean to you?
Yeah, man, he hugged me after the fight like, bro, I think he knew. He just said, I love you, brother, and thank you, you're a good guy. And I said, thanks, Jim, you know, and then I took my hat off, and he was like, oh, that's your moment, you know, and he just became the winningest fighter in UFC history. This is a historical moment for him, and for him to give that to me, you know, that is cool. He's a good guy, good country boy, and I got nothing bad to say about it.
And then last thing for me, you talk about what a sigh of relief it is now that you got to announce your retirement. There's a freedom that comes along with that you can't really put a price tag on. Do you remember the last time you had that feeling of just freedom, that big sigh of relief? Because you've been doing this an awful long time. Do you remember the last time you felt the way you feel right now?
Yeah, I was in the hospital on my grandma's deathbed, and the UFC called me and offered me a job. And I was like, we're here, we did it. And then, now we did it again. So, those two moments, I'll never forget the feeling, you know? And
Cowboy, we're here. Las Vegas has kind of been like a new home for you for your training camp. What did it mean to retire here on this card and go out this way?
Yeah, it's good. Couldn't be any more perfect. That's why tonight was the night. You know, no matter win or lose, it was going down. And I love Vegas. I'll be here all the time. I told the guys on the UFCP I don't take my fingerprint off the thing. I goddamn want to come in here whenever I want. So they said no problem. So I'll be coming to a lot of fights. I still love the sport. I just don't love training for the sport.
You said you still want to be involved in MMA. Is that coaching? Is it commentary? What about MMA do you want to still stick, or is it just hanging out here and doing the odd guest spot?
Yeah, I'm gonna drink beer up there in the front row and have a belly so big I can't even see my dick. That's what I'm looking for. Take a look at this body because it'll be the last time it's ever looking this way, and then after that I'm turning the corner and never looking back.
And just last one for me. A lot of hardcore fans get nostalgic when they talk about the WEC. I know you're a very proud recipient of that promotion. What does it mean to go out and be one of the few that did WEC and the UFC?
Oh, I love the WEC. I wish it was still around. You know, I remember when we first came over, everyone was like, "Oh, the WEC boys, we're gonna kill you guys." And here we are. There's still a couple of us left, but yeah, man, I'm honored. Legacy, so it's cool.
Hey, Cowboy, over here in the front. I just have a question. You mentioned that you didn't tell your team or your wife. Was there a reason why you kept that to yourself, or were you afraid maybe somebody would talk you out, or did you just want to have that moment to yourself?
Oh, I'm not talking out, but I didn't want their training or their attitude towards this fight to be any different. I didn't want them to be like, this is the last one, you know what I mean? I just wanted them to think, this is just what we do. And, yeah, I don't know why, just my own moment, you know? And, it was hard because it kept getting postponed, canceled, pushed. Training camp was all over the place. We were in Thailand. Man, it's been a wild 6 months, to say the least. But yeah, here we are, and just sigh of relief.
And you mentioned that obviously it would have felt better if this was a win, but do you think it would have been harder as well if you had won?
Oh hell no. It would have been the same thing, you know. We brought the boys in there, we would have smiled, took a picture, and I've just been able to give my team a little bit more money in the bonus, that's all.
Don, what was the moment when you knew? When did that come to you that you knew you were going to retire?
Before I fought folks, and I did the McGregor fight, and then I took another fight. I was just doing motions. Didn't enjoy it, didn't love it. I knew the time was soon. I just had to pick the right time. I knew coming in, I took a lot of time off. And told my agent to just get a fight. And I just knew this was going to be the last one.
Why do you think it is that fighters have such a hard time retiring at the right time? Whatever that may be.
I don't know, but you just, because you want it so bad, and you still think you can still keep up and you can still hang with the young crowd of these guys. And look at everyone's age, I'm like, oh, he's 40, he's still doing it, but man, I'm 39, I think my 39 is a little different than some of these other guys 39. I live a wild, rough life, I guess, but yeah, I don't know, it's time to move on and just go play.
Do you think your wife's going to be okay with that beer bell?
Well, she's a doctor, so she can write me a prescription for anything. So fuck you, son. I'm going. Maybe I'll get Swole Nation and you'll see Cowboy like, what is he on? And I'll tell you all, the super juice.
Cowboy in the back here. Just you used to always say anyone, anytime, any place. Is that kind of the legacy you hope to leave behind?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that was just like for. And I mean, you guys were in Phoenix. Dana clearly told you. Cowboy's not fighting next week. I don't know. You know, he told you all it ain't happening. Go home and call me. Say go enjoy the lake, and then he calls me. So I can't be the guy that'll fight anyone, anytime, anywhere, no matter what. And then when they call me, say, nah, except for this time, right? So when they call me, man, I was at the lake. We building a new house onto our house out there, and I was drinking beer and eating barbecue. And Dana called me and I said, there's no way I can make 55. He said, no, we'll do it at 70. And I said, of course I'll be there. See, I'll pack up from the lake. Literally, we drove. My son's birthday was Saturday. We had his birthday party. Jumped in the lake and I drove all night long and showed up here to make it to jiu-jitsu to roll in the morning. And we started camp for 1 week or whatever left. Yeah.
You also mentioned the idea that you might be doing more movies. I know you've kind of already been dipping in that water over there, but what kind of projects do you have coming up?
We just finished a World War II movie. It'll be coming out end of the year. Me and my buddy Dustin have a rom-com coming out in November, so that's going to be a lot of fun. I got a couple in the chamber. Chris Pratt's here in the building, and him and I just did the Terminal List together, so I'll be on the final episode of the Terminal List on Amazon Prime, I believe. So yeah, I got a couple in the chamber, and I'm just looking to keep going and loving it. So the problem is getting these directors to want to work with a dumb cowboy hillbilly. You know, they don't know I got the chops. You know, they're learning, and we'll see.
Thank you.
Cowboy right here. Cowboy, you talked about that just, anyone, anytime. It feels like there's less of those guys now than there were years past when you were at the top of it, into it. Do you feel like there's just a difference in the guys who are getting into the UFC and trying to get to this level now than there were before?
Oh yeah, you're talking about the fighters are leaving and the athletes that are trying to become fighters are coming in. Yeah, there are a lot of athletes. The actual true grit fighters, there's not many of these guys left. So you see it, and I don't know. You can't be taught. You know, no matter how bad you want it, you can't teach that to people. So it's cool to have the legacy of anyone, anytime, anywhere, and I meant it, and I still to this day mean it. You know, I don't know the UFC anymore. Hopefully, I can rip someone's ass for free, not get in much trouble.
What would be your advice to guys who are like, you know what, I want to be like that. I want to be active. I want to keep taking these fights. I don't care about the business and matchmaking and all that. What would your advice be to them?
All the guys I train with and that I work with, I tell them to fight anybody and fight. Don't pick the fights, but so you can't say you want to be like that, and then when it comes time to be like that, not be like that. So it's hard to teach that because when I grew up fighting, it was like I would just fight. Like my management had the easiest job ever. He was just like, "Got you booked next week, like sit, go, boom, don't care, next, you know." And so you see that with a lot of these guys now, where they are trying to pick the right fight, and it even works on both sides. Even if you're okay with it, maybe that other side of the camp is like, "Oh, that's not a good fight person." They don't take it, so it's a dangerous, weird sport right now, but. I can tell those guys, just say, just keep fighting your asses off, man. Be a showman.
Finally, did your wife ever tell you if you're having another boy or girl?
Well, she won't tell me what we are having. It's a secret. So I wish I would know, but we'll have to just wait for it to come out, and then we'll know.
Yeah, thanks for doing it.
Hey, Jackson Danger, get up right now.
Donald, just over here. You've fought some of the very best. Is there a particular fight in your career that stands out to you the most?
Oh yeah, Razor Rob McCall in WC. Yeah, that was one of my favorite fights. Just because we were back and forth and throwing down. Yeah, and he's a good dude. So that was one of my favorite fights.
And has there been any regrets?
The only regret I can say I have is I didn't do this sooner.
Thank you so much.
Down in the middle, you've got the family and the family is growing, and at this point, how much easier does it make it for you to walk away from MMA because you do have the family?
Yes, and my wife, she played soccer in college, and a lot of things that kept me going in the last big fights of my life, and she's like, I wish I could just go back and play one more game. You know, you have the chance to do one more fight, like go experience it and love it, you know, and I was trying to love it. I was trying to find it, trying to experience it. I was doing it for all the wrong reasons. I was doing it for everybody else and not myself, you know. And retiring tonight, that was for me. And I fucking feel good about it. I'm gonna go home and grab me a nice cold Budweiser and fucking just chug it all the way down and be like, oh. Yep. Good career, Cowboy.
Cowboy over here to your right. If you could be a part of any movie franchise, what would it be?
Oh, I'd definitely take a Marvel movie. That'd be sick, yeah, for sure. A re-rolling Marvel movie, yeah, 100%.
Is there like a superhero that you would like to fight in the big show?
Man, I'd love to work with Chris Pratt again, or even Chris Thor, you know. Man, any of the Marvel guys, they're all studs, but if I could probably work with anybody on a movie, I'd probably pick Leonardo for sure. I'd love to work side by side with him. Yeah, he's a stud. So.
During your career, tonight you fought on ABC for the first time, but you've also fought on Spike, Versus, Fuel TV, Fox, FS1, Fight Pass, ESPN, ESPN Plus, and pay-per-view. They've obviously used you as a big piece of this company. Just what do you think you've meant to the growth of the UFC over the past 10 or so years?
After this, I saw Sean and I said, hey man, he's like, I can't believe you just did that. And I said, I'd rather have done that than have you tell my manager I'm done. He said, we would never do that to you. You're here for life no matter what. So it's cool to hear that, especially when you see all these guys fighting for their jobs all the time. And I remember about 2 fights ago, I texted Dana and said, I just want to let you know that I'm going to end my career at the UFC. I'm not going to go anywhere else. You won't see me go to any other organization or go do any other bare knuckle stuff, or I might do some fun stuff and like take some Thai fights in Thailand, and that would be it if I was out there on vacation with belly and another 205-pound guy that wanted to fight. but other than that, this is where I want to hang it up with UFC and be done under this umbrella. So yeah, it made a hell of a career life for me and my family. So I'll always talk great about the UFC, and you've always done right by me.
What do you think Dana will say to you? I know he's not here tonight.
Yeah, he's got some family stuff going on, so he understands. But he's going to say, good ride, kid. That's exactly what he's probably got a text on my phone saying, good ride, kid.
Appreciate it. Congratulations.
Thank you.